Okay, so we've got everything out of the box and we're ready now to install it and drink that beautiful water. We've got a unit, we've got, if we can zoom in here, we've got the flow diverter, we've got the spout where the water comes out of, and we've got the hose that connects from the flow diverter to the bottom of the unit. Tools that you'll need will be wrench, Stanley knife, and maybe some plumber's tape depending on the fitting. Now we start off, remember we've got the two different colour units, the silver and black, or the white unit. So we'll be working with the white one just because that's the one that we've got connected at home. To start off with, most taps, about 90 to 95% of taps in Australia's homes, have an aerator at the end of them. Now the aerator easily screws off. It may look different on your tap, but you're just looking for something at the end of the tap that unscrews. What that does is it exposes a thread. And the thread is necessary, it's either on the outside or on the inside of the tap. The thread is necessary to connect to the flow diverter. So we grab your flow diverter and then just screw this directly on to the end of the tap. As I said, you may need some plumber's tape on this thread depending on the fit between the flow diverter and the tap. With our tap here, it doesn't need any thread. It doesn't need any plumber's tape. Just give it a bit of a tighten with the wrench. And we're away. Now at the end of in the flow diverter, you've got, apart from the piece running down at the end of the tap, you've got the lever. You turn the lever up sideways and that's when the water will divert through to your MinWell Plus, or you turn the lever down and that's when it comes straight out. You've also got this little valve here. You unscrew that valve here. Take that off and put that at the end of the pipe. Now this hosing is the hosing I mean. So the hosing comes at a very long length, so it can fit to multiple circumstances depending where you need to fit your MinWell Plus in the tap. It's about over a metre long. All you need to do is to cut that to the particular length that you want. And as I said, use a Stanley knife and make sure you do a really straight, sharp cut, a really straight, square cut, so that it fits absolutely perfectly onto that valve. So once you've done that cut, there, this is the one that we've got, which is the length for our tap. So all you do there is you now attach the hose onto the end of the valve. We've got this valve here that we talked about. So you push that in there. And with the other end, you put that other bit of the screw-on valve on the hose, feed it through, and then that then screws onto, tighten up that hose onto the flow diverter. Just like that. Now we've got our unit and we've now got the hose. You can move the flow diverter around so that it gets the hose out of the way without affecting the tightness of the fit there. So it moves around. We're now going to feed that hose into the bottom of the unit through the hole at the back of the unit. Now the back of the unit then you can see connects onto the flow control valve. Now this flow control valve is how you control how much water comes out, the speed of the water that comes through. When it's like that, pointing directly to the hole, that's at full speed, and when it's like that, turned at 90 degrees, you've then got it basically not coming out at all. We're looking for the water to come out at about a litre a minute, and that's typically around that sort of angle of the flow control valve. It's about a litre a minute. You don't have to be too particular about it. And then it's a case of feeding that hose through the hole into that flow control valve, into the bottom John Guest fitting in there. You need to be quite firm about this when you're feeding it through. It's got a point of, what you need to do is to feed it through the first point of resistance. You'll feel it's quite firm. but it's actually got to go past that into a second point of resistance. And when you do that, it's pushed all the way in, you won't be able to pull it out, and that way you'll make sure that it's not going to leak at the bottom of your unit. If you're finding it's leaking, it just hasn't been pushed in enough and you need to try it again, or perhaps the cut isn't square, you need to fix up that cut. Okay, so we've now got our unit attached to the tap. Get the hose out of the way there. All we need to do now is put the outlet tap onto the top of the unit and we're ready to go. So when we've got the water now coming directly with the valve down, it just comes out straight down the tap like that. Or when we want it to come out of the MinWell Plus for our drinking water, we turn the lever up, we turn the water on, and after a period of time it'll come up, push through the unit and out of the outlet. When you first get to unit, you'll need to flush it out first before doing it because it'll have loose carbon out, but after about 5-10 minutes of flushing it out, every time you turn it on, you'll just get beautiful fresh alkaline ionised water just like that. So enjoy.